Lon Phillip Sullivan's on the line, as we typically go to Lon, of course, for his insight and expertise on LSU football. Lon, how you doing today?
Doing good, Mark. Doing good. How about you, my man?
I'm doing well. And of course, everyone knows to get on over to Lon's site there, lsuodyssey.com, for the latest on the Bayou Bengals. And the latest is something that we see once, twice, three times, but it's pretty rare among the college football community to see a player at a big-time school call it quits. A guy that was in play for a starting job and obviously won that 2 seasons ago at the outside of 2020. And of course, we're talking about Myles Brennan, once starting quarterback and competing for the starting quarterback job at LSU, Lon.
Man, Mark, this is something that, I did predict that, it would be Myles Brennan or one of the other quarterbacks potentially to transfer, but most likely Myles was a name that was definitely in that recurring theme there of there's going to be a quarterback transferring before week 1. There was going to be, and that's what happened finally. Kelly did a really good job to keep 4 on roster this far, but it's very unexpected at the same time to see Myles Brennan not transfer to Nebraska. That was like one of the first things I was hearing was, I'm hearing that he's got a lot of people in place with Scott Frost and of course LSU's former receivers coach Mickey Joseph. There's a few former receivers from LSU who are there who he's been longtime teammates with, Trey Palmer, Alex Adams, but that was not going to happen. He made it clear he was leaving football, which was really, really unexpected. At the same time, it is too. I have a lot of conflicting feelings about this. You got Myles Brennan, who big time leader, the only quarterback in LSU history to put 300-yard games in his first 3 starts, then has the horrible injuries, the frustration, watching Joe Burrow win a national championship, having to play in garbage time, taking a red shirt in 2018, coming into the 2017 game against Troy, throwing a pick 6 after he throws a touchdown to kind of lead the team back. And you're thinking, is this a freshman boy wonders moment? And then the next drive, he throws a pick 6 and gets absolutely rattled, just rocked for most likely a concussion on the play, taken out for the rest of the game. Danny Utley comes back in, takes the job back. Myles Brennan doesn't play another game until garbage time in 2019. It just seems like every time that this young man had a moment in his LSU career to really get through to the next level and really be that starting quarterback at LSU that really, not Joe Burrow, not going to imitate Joe Burrow, even come close, but be a very serviceable winning quarterback at LSU, and it just couldn't happen. Every time, slipping on a boat with wearing flip-flops, breaking his humerus last year as well when he had a huge chance to start. You had to wonder if after all of this adversity, he's only human. Did he probably think, I've got so many other interests, so many other ambitions, so many other possibilities with the family, family backing, family wealth in the Brennan family. Owning a lot of restaurants there in the New Orleans area. There's a lot of possibilities for Myles Brennan, not just football. And so you got to wonder if football didn't become a number 1 priority for him in the end, because there's some practices where it just seemed like this is supposed to be your moment where you're taking the team by the scruff of the neck. And I didn't feel like I ever saw that, Mark, not even for one moment. Just way too casual, way too chill. And it almost like threw the other quarterbacks off guard. Like, whoa, I thought Myles Brennan was going to be like, this is his team and crazy and the veteran who's coming back. But no. And now it's seeming like Jaden Daniels is going to be that front runner with Garrett Nussmeier battling a little bit of an ankle injury. He was practicing in full for practice today. But, of course, as we've been saying before, a neck and neck race really between Jaden Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier, and Myles Brennan was the third wheel. And it's sad to see him call it quits. It really is. It's sad to see him just say, "I'm done with football." It's, but you know, that's the life he wants to live.
Absolutely. And of course, considering his talent, his ability, and being able to compete for a job at an LSU, he could have gone a number of places. You mentioned Nebraska. He could go to the majority of schools across the FBS landscape and compete for a job, win a job somewhere, and play. So he obviously, as you mentioned, the combination of the injuries, the previous frustrations, probably even having an expectation of himself that he was going to play for a school like an LSU and be that guy at a place of that caliber, that the other options in football just didn't hit his expectations.
Absolutely. I mean, Mark, think about it, how long this guy has been there. He's been there. Matt Canada was his first offensive coordinator. He committed under Les Miles as the head coach. I mean, I remember sitting in a some type of telemarketing company that I was working at, job straight out of high school. It's so far back when Myles Brennan was just like, hey, bro, did you hear about this blonde dude, this freshman quarterback that they just recruited? They just got to commit from out of Mississippi, Myles Brennan. And I was like, huh? And they're like, oh, he's going to be the first really super awesome quarterback for LSU. Can't wait for this kid. And so my buddy AG Anthony was telling me at the time, a diehard LSU fan as well. And I, just seeing how long it's been, just that Myles Brennan has been at LSU. I mean, I know he put his name in the transfer portal back in November, late November, I think it was. Didn't last long, and he gave everything for LSU. We cannot take that away from him. He put everything on the line. This is a guy who played 3/4 of a game with a torn abdominal muscle that was torn split like a steamed asparagus, according to trainer Jack Marucci. He should never have gotten back in that game, Mark, but he did because of his love for LSU. And I wonder if those type of incidents just compounded, really, Mark. And football, it always comes these type of incidents always make it rear its head when you're just, football is a very violent game, and it takes no prisoners, and it leaves a lot of casualties in its wake. And Myles Brennan might be someone who just, football is not for me anymore. I've put so much into this. I've put my body on the line for far too long. The real hitting is about to start in fall camp. We know for a fact that Myles Brennan hasn't been hit since that Missouri game in a live football game. That's 2+ years, Mark. I mean, what type of condition will he be in? Could he even accept a really nasty hit? It's something that you have to wonder. And I really wish he would have had his full season chance, Mark. But he's such a case of what if. And I think almost haunted by Joe Burrow. I mean, how can you follow that type of act? It's almost like, having Kiss as an opening act in 1974 or something, and you're trying to follow them, like Led Zeppelin opening for Iron Butterfly in '69. Like, Iron Butterfly basically just said, we're leaving the arena, we're leaving the Fillmore East right now. They could not follow Led Zeppelin. That's a true story, by the way. So, I mean, same goes with Joe Burrow. You could not follow Joe Burrow, and I'm not going to blame him. I'm not going to blame the guy. It's a big, and just another case of what if, Mark, at LSU. There's so many of them.
Lon Philip Sullivan, LSU Odyssey. Get on over there. Check out Lon's work covering LSU football. We're inside 3 weeks to the opener at the Superdome against Florida State. Please like the video here, share the videos, and subscribe right here at the Voice of College Football.